Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Flip students. Today we are going to be graphing on the coordinate plane. Please go ahead and add this to your table of contents in the front and put the corresponding page number wherever you are in your notebook. Title the page, and you're going to be drawing 5 sections. So make the top one long. And you might want to count the spaces because there's a lot of definitions this time. And then divide the remainder into 4. All right, so we have a lot of definitions this time. Some of them you've probably heard of. So we're going to just start at the top. The coordinate plane is basically just 2 number lines where they intersect at right angles. Okay, so that's exactly what you're looking at down at the bottom of the screen there. The x-axis is the horizontal number line. It goes across. And the y-axis is the vertical number line. It goes up and down. The origin is the very center where they meet. And then an ordered pair, it gives a location of a point. So that, for example, it'll be 3, -4. That is an ordered pair. And then each of those numbers in the ordered pair is called a coordinate. Okay. Then also there are 4 quadrants in a coordinate plane, and they start over here where it's positive on this side and positive on this side. So it's going to start with quadrant 1. Then it goes counterclockwise, which is the opposite way a clock goes. So we do quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Now you are going to have to know these, so make sure you label your page just like I've done. And I know it's going to be difficult, but you're going to have to squeeze it all in that top section. Okay, so here we have a coordinate plane, and there's 4 points on the coordinate plane, and we're going to name them. Okay, or identify them. Okay, so whenever you are giving an ordered pair, the x-axis, which is this axis, comes first, then the y-axis is second. Okay, so we're going to read the case. So let's do, I'm going to write in black, E. I'll just put an E here. Then coordinates are given. You usually do them in parentheses. Okay, so E, we're going to do the x-axis first. So we go 1, 2, which is -2. So we're going to say -2. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going positive direction. If you'll see, look on the number line. So that point's coordinates are -2, 4. Now remember the quadrants. Where is that one sitting? Where is E sitting? It is sitting in quadrant, oh, wait a minute. Yes, quadrant 2. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. And they write them as Roman numerals, okay? So let me rewrite them as Roman numerals because I forgot to say that. Okay, so this is quadrant 1, and I think I listed them as regular numbers. Quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4 as a Roman numeral. Okay, sorry about that mix-up. I totally forgot that. All right, so let's name F. I'm going to go down below where I wrote quadrant. And so F, we're going to go over 1, 2, 3. So my first number. Let me get rid of this quadrant. So we're going to call it quadrant 2, but I'll put it over here. Okay, so we have for F, we go over 3 spots. And then we count up 1, 2. So that is 3, 2, and it is in the quadrant 1. quadrant 1. And I just realized I wrote an extra one here. Boy, this is not my day today. Okay. This is quadrant 1. Let me put a little box around them so we can see them better. All right. Okay, so let's find point G. Okay, let's find its, identify its point. Okay, so we're going to go on the x-axis, we go over 4, and then we go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So G will be 4 positive, and then negative 4, and it is in quadrant 4. All right. Now let's label H. So H, we go 1 to the left, which is a negative 1. Negative 1. And then we're going to go down, which is also negative 1, 2, 3. So its coordinates are negative 1, negative 3. Okay. And it is in quadrant, as you can see right above it, 3. All right. Okay, so hopefully I didn't confuse you with that. Sorry about that. Let's move on to our next lesson. All right, so now they've given us some coordinates, and we need to plot. So let's plot A. So we are going to plot. Remember, X is always first. So we're going to go negative 5. So we're going to go, and I didn't number every single line because that would be too, the page would be too full. And so I just numbered every other one, and we can all figure out where the odd numbers are. Okay, so negative 5 will be right here. And then we're going to go positive 2. So we're going to go up 2. So we'll go 1, 2. So that is A. All right, and now we have, for B, we have 3 and 1.5. So we're going to go positive. We're going to go over here, 3. And then 1.5 is just going to be just a little bit. It's going to be between 1 and 2, just like you would expect. So it's hard with this big stylus that I have, sorry. So this is going to be B. You could be more specific with a pencil. All right, let's try C. So C is 0, which is the center. So we're not going to go anywhere but on the x-axis, but the y-axis is going to take us up 3. So we're going to go up here to the 3. Just put it right on the number. And then let's plot coordinate for D. We're going to go negative 4 and then a positive 2. Whoops! I think we're going to run right into that letter. So let me erase my A. I'll move them over here. Okay, so negative 4 and then a positive 2 will go right here. Guess what? They're going to be buddies right next to each other. That's going to be D. E will be positive 3 and positive 2.5. So we have 3 and then we'll go 2.5. Oh my goodness, these are all squished together. 2.5 will be between 2 and 3. So you'll have an easier time. And I'm going to put a line. And that will be my E. Okay? It's a line pointing to it. F will be negative 4.5, negative 5. So we're going to count over to where negative 4 is, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to go just a little bit past it, not quite to the 5, and I'm going to go down to negative 5. So it's going to be right about here. Like I said, you can be so much more accurate with your pencil than I can with my big fat stylus here. Okay, so that's how we plot the points. And we'll have some graph paper tomorrow, and we'll be doing some more of these examples in class. Okay, so now for some word problems. I know how you all love word problems. So we're going to do a word problem with a coordinate plane. Okay, so this graph shows the location of a city. And let's see. it shows Gary's house and Jen's house, which I actually did not put on here yet, but I will. So Gary's house is, let me see. Right here. This is Gary. And then Jen's house is actually right here. And this is Jen. Hopefully you guys can see that blue. It doesn't show up very well. Okay. All right. So this is the city. The center is the city center. All right. Now this particular graph is each square represents 5 miles. Okay, so that's why I labeled it like I did. So you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you know, and so on. Okay, so Gary's house, what would be the coordinates for Gary's house? So his coordinates would be 25, and then, oops, sorry, that's a negative 25, because remember we went to the left, and then it's a positive 15. Okay, so those are his coordinates. Okay, now what the question they're asking is, describe the location of Jen's house in comparison or relative to Gary's house. So they're both on the same y-axis line. They're both at 15. Okay, well, let's just name her points just to help us. So that's going to be 5 and then 15. Because remember, we went 1 to the right, which is 5. And we went up, which is 15. Okay, so what is her house compared to his house? Okay, so basically we just have to count squares. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would be 6 squares times how many miles each? Times 5 equals 30 miles away. So they are 30 miles from each other, even though it looks like a teeny little space on the paper. Okay, so that's how you would describe the location of Jen's house relative to Gary's. Okay, let's move on for one more. All right, so we're going to do one more word problem. Okay, now this one I left it totally blank, so you can walk through the steps with me in labeling, because not every coordinate plane will be labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's listen to the word problem. Ted lives 20 miles south and 20 miles west of the city, represented on the graph in example 3. Oh, sorry, never mind. I'm reading right from the book. His brother Ned lives 45 miles north of Ted's house. Give the coordinates of each brother's house. Okay, so it's going to be like the one we did before. So we're going to label it just like we did before. So we'll do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Sorry, my line's not straight. 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, you get the idea. So we'll do 5, 10 to negative 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, okay, and so on. Like I said, it's so hard to write with this stylus. Okay, so I got one more. These are going to be positive. Okay. Now I think I'm going to have to go a little bit more. Okay. All right, so Ted lives 20 miles south, which would be down the x-axis, and 20 miles west, which would be to the left on the y-axis. So 20 miles south and 20 miles west. So we're going to say Ted Here's Ted. His coordinates are 20 miles south, which is negative, and 20 miles west, which is negative. Okay, so let's see if we can find that. So we'll go down 20 and over 20, both negatives. So here is Ted's house, right there. His brother lives 45 miles north of Ted's house. So we're going to count 45 miles north. Remember, each of these is 5. So we'll go 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, and that's Ned's house. So Ned's coordinates would be negative 20, because you're on the x-axis first, and then we go positive 25. Okay, and so and it asks for you to give the coordinates for each brother's house. All right, so those are a couple word problems. We'll do some more in class tomorrow. If you have graph paper, you can bring it. Otherwise, we have plenty here. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.